Oh, it's almost midnight at our favorite bus stop. Yeah. So, going home after a long day at work. When I left, I felt like the boss wasn't 100% happy. But, if it's an issue on Saturday, I'll just tell him I need more help doing certain things, because I can't do everything. I can do a lot, but I can't do all of it. So you have to pick what I'm going to do. So hopefully that'll help. So I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, so I've got the gas station on my right, and my favorite, the creepy vacant lot on the left. I am probably equally concerned about both. I've had people come out of the vacant lot, and I've had people come out of the gas station. It was very interesting though, when he did come out of the gas station, he bumped the chain link fence, and I heard it rattle, and I turned around. Speaking of turning around, that's a good idea. Okay, we're good. So, yeah, but I was doing some thinking lately because it's 5 years since my husband died, and for some reason that's important. I don't know why. And work was playing some music that he liked tonight, and I was thinking, it's really awful when I look back, because he kept me in a box. He told me what to think. He told me what to do, how to dress, what to weigh. If I lost weight, he would deliberately sabotage me, and he would encourage his friends to also. Let's go to IHOP. And I remember one time I said I don't want any hash browns or pancakes with my food, and I got up and I went to the bathroom. I told the waitress this, and when I came back, they told the waitress, "Oh, don't listen to her. She really needs the carbs." So she brought all the food, and then Ron's friend is like, "Well, I'm paying for the meal. You have to eat everything." What the? And I like to bake, and Ron said, "Oh, I don't want you to bake because I don't like the way the house smells. I don't want you to cook because I don't like the way the house smells." Just very, very controlling everything. The kind of laundry soap I used, the kind of bath soap I used, deodorant, everything. Just very, very controlling. And that's wrong. And you don't do that to someone you love. And God has showed me some teachings that I needed to see. And the gist of it is, a godly man does not disrespect his wife. And ABC is disrespect. And I'm like, wow. Okay. I remember it was like I went to a therapist once, and I'm one block in. That was the other bus, so I'm just gonna look for a second, make sure nobody got off, although that bus is moving pretty quick. And the therapist said, "I want to ask you some questions." I said, "Okay." And he started, and I was answering yes to all of it. And I realized this was an abuse thing. Have you been abused? And I'm like, okay, I'm literally checking every box except the sexual assault one. And I'm like, okay. So that I couldn't even go back after that. I just needed a while to think about that. So, I just went from one bad situation with my family to another bad situation with Ron. And it was made clear to me, very clear, that Ron was the golden child, and that if I said anything against him, I would be, shunned, for lack of a better word. So, okay. So I didn't say anything against him until years after he died. And I know there were a lot of people who were very, very worried about me when he was alive. And I appreciate the concern. I had a issue with the past, a stalker who decided to take matters into her own hands and made some decisions that were wrong. And she's just as controlling as Ron, actually, which I find amusing because she probably would hate that comparison, that she had anything in common with him. But so anyways, I was thinking about that a little bit, but I was working, and I was at my transfer point. I got off my work bus, the crazy train, and there's a bus bench if you want it. And I don't know, because terrible, terrible things happen on these bus benches. And I thought, no, but I was standing there, and it's been a long day. They had me work overtime tonight, and, my feet hurt, and I'm tired, I'm stiff. I thought maybe I'll just sit down. And the guy at the bus stop was pretty harmless for that neighborhood. He was just a young black guy, and some kind of joggers and some kind of windbreaker. So and he was tidy. He smelled okay. So I wasn't worried. He didn't seem dangerous. Basically a recipient. So, and I was actually thinking about giving him something. And so I sat down, and all of a sudden, a couple minutes later, he just jumps. And he said, "What the hell is that?" And he's pointing, but it's kind of dim about how it is now. Well, actually, more dimmer than it is now because I'm under a street light. But he said, "What the hell is that?" And he's pointing at his leg about 2 inches above his knee on the inside of his thigh, on his right leg, I believe. And he said, "What the hell is that?" And I looked. I said, "Oh, that's just a roach." He said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, it's one of our cockroaches." I said, "You're not from Houston, huh?" I said, "No, I'm not." And he said, "They fly?" And I said, "Yeah, you get used to it. It's no big deal," because I can hear them flying around right now. And he's like very, very distraught over this news and very, very clearly upset. And he looks at me and he's almost crying. He says, "Ma'am, get it off. Please get it off." And I don't know this guy. I met him 2 minutes ago. So I'm not going to touch him with my body. I'm not going to touch him with my hand or anything. So I had an empty soda bottle in my hand, and I used that, and I knocked it off. And he jumped up, and he said, "F this shit," and ran off. And I did not see him again. I did not get a chance to give him the gospel. I guess that wasn't meant to happen. And so I felt bad for him, poor kid. He had no idea. I think a lot of people come to Houston, and we've got this horrible summer weather. We've got floods, we've got hurricanes, we've got flying roaches, we've got mosquitoes, we've got bad parts of town, and they're not really equipped for that. And I think a lot of people maybe don't make it, but this town grows on you. I really love living here. So, and this yard here, they have 2 dogs. They always bark at me in a very friendly manner when I walk by. So, but when I was talking to Mom and Dad on the way home, Dad would get kind of concerned every time because they sounded like they might be aggressive. They're not. They're largish dogs from the sound. I've never even seen them, but they're not going anywhere. So I'm going home. I'm off tomorrow. I got a package delivered, and my 85 was late coming home. So I did a little research on Christian Book, and I was able to figure out what the item is, and I'll do an unboxing on it. It's a gift, but the gifts tend to come with a receipt in them, and I don't want her to see how much it cost. So I'm gonna do that. And I had my curry for dinner, which was good. I made that yesterday. It was just a vegan curry, actually. I didn't plan to make it vegan, it just worked out that way. But it had lentils, a little bit of barley, whole wheat, sweet potatoes, carrots. I always try to get a lot of vitamin A in there. I didn't put anything green in, but just some spices, and it turned out pretty good. And I was happy with it. And I made it with a lot of ginger because I think that will help with the stiffness, and some pepper, enough to give it a little kick. It wasn't crazy, but it definitely was a wake-up call. And that was good because I had a nasty sinus headache today, and I just couldn't lick it. And I took something when I got up, and I actually took something at my transfer point going to work, and I decided I'll try my old tried and true of one Aleve and one Excedrin together, which works pretty well for bad headaches. Maybe not so good for the kidneys, but it works. And so I took it, but the Aleve just made me so sleepy. And I had, let me put this, I have managers who like to watch what I'm doing, and if they perceive any laziness, they will light into me. So they were both there. So I did not want to be at all sleepy around them, so I drank Mountain Dew, and that did the trick. But I need to remember that Aleve makes me really sleepy. So I didn't used to. I used to take it all the time. I had terrible female problems. So I was always anemic, terrible cycles, and just, but I do not miss any of that. So, yeah, so I'm going home. We might see Happy. I don't see him though, and it's a nice night. And Spotty and Cleo are inside. I had 2 chairs on the porch, and I brought them both in when we had the windstorm last week. And Spotty has claimed the 1 chair, and he will not let me put it out again. So I'm going to need to figure out how I'm going to set that up in the front room. And tomorrow I plan to do some cleaning and organizing, get some stuff out in the garage, organize my canned food. I have so many cans of chickpeas. I don't really even like chickpeas. I don't know what the deal is with that. I might donate them. Well, the ones that I can. But yeah, that was just weird. So, like the salsa, the tomatoes, all that stuff I can use, but not the rest. My next door neighbor's asleep, I can tell. Her lights are out. But yeah, so Spotty was home, and so was Cleo. Cleo just basically likes to move around from one cushy spot to another and sleep all day. Spotty will, if I'm home, he likes to go out a few times, but that's about it. I am getting my keys here. It's interesting, keys. I have a house key, a key to the back door, a key to my locker, and a key to the garage door. When we had a new garage door to the garage put, he installed it with a deadbolt lock with a key. We weren't crazy about that, but he had already done it, so let's see. Oh, the Nielsen thing. I got some kind of Nielsen survey. I got a water bill. Now, this was interesting with the water bill. the auto pay didn't work last time. So I was planning on getting it on the next paycheck. And they sent me an email a couple days ago and said, hey, we sent you something and it was returned to us. What's going on? And I thought, I had better take care of this or I might lose my water. So I called them and they're like, well, you have 2 months here, the new month and the old month. Do you want to pay the whole thing? And when it comes to bill paying, I tend to like cave to pressure on things like that. I said yes. And so that was like, a day of work, basically. But I don't need to worry about it next month. So I still have water. They're doing some kind of upgrades to the system. Every now and then I'll see some guys in hard hats digging a hole by the side of the road on my way to work. But they haven't had to cut my water off when I've been home yet. So they are supposed to give us a notice on that, but they're like painting marks on the streets and the sidewalks and stuff. Now for me, my water runs in front of the house and then it goes up the driveway to the kitchen where it like connects to my plumbing. So I was told that's not really great because if there's a problem, then they'll have to jackhammer the driveway. Well, Spotty is out. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Hello. Yeah, we got a package. Hi, sweetheart. I missed you today. I missed you. I'm glad I put some water on the porch. Yeah. I'm glad I put some water on the porch. Oh, and I got more cheesy snacks for my delivery guys. So, let's see. Well, he dug around. He took something. It's lower than it was. Okay, good. I'm glad he got something. This is a lot bigger than I was expecting. So, let's do an unboxing. Yeah, let's let Spotty in. Alrighty. Yeah, this is the fun part of living near an industrial area, so just weird, random banging noises. Get used to it, though. So, Nelson on water bill. I already paid the water bill, so I'm not worried about that. 2 boxes. Interesting. 2 boxes. I am stumped. I have no idea what this is. So, and this is what I've got going right now. Somebody likes the red Gatorades enough that I actually got an 8-pack of them. And they took a red Gatorade the other day. Alright, I'm going to get the buggy in. And then I'm going to get the stuff. Okay, the trick is not to trip on anything. Alright, we're just going to shove you over here. Next to the Bible buggy. And I think tonight is going to be a, what do you call it? A Honey Smacks night. I have some generic brand Honey Smacks. This is the bigger box. It's not super heavy. Maybe 8 to 10 pounds. Alright, we're going to turn on the light. And I have thought about like upgrading my game and really, going all out with the videos and stuff, but I don't want it to consume me. And I think it should be more about the message versus the presentation. So I am taking my marker and I'm gonna alright, we're gonna do it this way. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, there it is. Number 1. And I'm gonna put you right there. Okay, I have so much junk. I have my vest from work. I wanted to bring it. Well, I was in a rush when I left because I didn't have a big window to get to the bus stop and catch my bus. And if things don't line up, I could get stranded. So here's the other box. Okay. Yeah, I was under the impression it would be one item in a box by itself, but this is not one item. So maybe it would be nice. I bought myself a really nice Bible to replace the one I gave away. Well, it cost me like $12, I think, but it's an amplified New King James Parallel in a large print. Now, with my glasses, I see pretty well, but I'm always down for a large print. So, let's see. Okay, and I am being bad because normally I would text my friends by now and let them know I'm okay, but I think they'll figure it out. Okay. So, it doesn't want to stay. Okay. All right, there we go. There we don't go. Okay, so let me put the pen away. Get all this off and put it in the laundry room. Okay, that's a really good idea. Okay. So I got some hand sanitizer because as a rule, I've done this ever since COVID. I like to clean my hands when I get home. Let's try that. Okay, so I'm going to open the big box first. Once I get my trusty box cutter. Okay, now I'm going to bring it over here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So there's one piece of tape across the top. And unlike a lot of my Bible deliveries, the box is not damaged. This came regular post office. So I am not getting good data on what's coming or when. If I'm lucky, I'll just hear something's coming, but I won't really have a lot of data. So, okay, I can see one of them already. So I have 3 things in here. So, the first item, I was very led to get this. It is a Swahili New Testament. Why Swahili? I don't know. I go where the Lord leads me. This is what I got from my friend. Gilt edges. Nice purple cover. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. She said she wanted something that fit in her pocket. I don't think this is pocket sized, but it's petite, and I think she'll like it. And then I have these. I think how many? 14 of these, which is awesome because my recipients are crazy for Old King James. So I'm going to put this over here. All right, I'm going to put that over there because I need to organize this. The Bible rack. So the second one, I don't know what this is. It's got something in it. I don't know what. So I don't know if you can see me. Oh, you get a great view of my butt. Oh well. I am losing some weight. I'm down to 181. At my all-time high, I was about 100 pounds more than that. So, all right. Oh, Bible Promises. Ooh, I just ordered those. That is impressive. So I'm going to put this away. So, I was given a love offering of $20 for ministry. And what I chose to do is to get these. Let's stack them up. I have NIVs and I have Old King James because I am really a big fan of Bible Promise books. I just loved mine after Ron died. I don't know what happened to it. I'm sure I gave it to somebody, but yeah, I wasn't really up for reading a Bible for a while, but this I could do, at least for a couple days. So, and then I have these. This is the NIV one, and these are nice because, yeah. And my dad, he has lost some people he cares about. And I have been encouraging him to read the Bible Promise book I left him when I went to visit. So, yeah, these are all nice. They're in really good shape. And you just cannot go wrong as an evangelist. If I'm handing out Bibles, I'm going to be handing out these too, ideally. Now, I am supposed to be getting some money soon, so not a huge amount, like a month of my pay. So if that happens, if and when, I'm sure I'm going to get more promise books. I think I can manage the day-to-day Bibles on my wages and what I make from the GoFundMe. And just friends just randomly giving me money. Go buy some Bibles. Oh, and I got 15 of these the other day. So, okay. So, that is that. And you are... This was supposed to be New King James, I think. Old King James. But... Oh, it is. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put this up here. I like to put them in little plastic boxes. They fit really well. So, and for once I have plenty of candy. So I am going to go eat a bowl of Honey Smacks.